Alright, so you know that you need to train commitment and reaction time in Kumite, but you also don't have an endless supply of resources and training partners at your disposal. So how in the world are you supposed to train this concept without having the tools necessary? So that's exactly what we're working on in today's video. So I'm going to give you a few quick training drills that you can use on your own at home to help you with commitment and your reaction time. So with that, let's jump into it. What's up, my Karate Playbook team? Welcome back to the channel. Now, if you're new here, my name is Nick, and we're always trying to bring you drills and tips based on your requests. Instead of me just giving you what I think you might be able to use, I look for requests from everybody out there for topics that would really help you improve your karate. So things that you're struggling with that I can help you out with. So if there's anything that you can think of, drop it down in the comment section and I'll make sure I look into it. Now, just recently we did a video on a really popular request that we had, which was how to train commitment for Kumite, especially when you're trying to throw a blitz. Now, all the drills that we did show required some sort of a training partner or a class setting that you could use other people for your training. So after that video went out, a lot of people came back asking for solo drills that you can do by yourself at home without anybody else around. And that's something I actually do all the time. I still do these drills that I'm going to talk about today, and some of them on a daily basis. So make sure you stick around, watch the whole video so you see all three of these, because I'm going to save probably my favorite one for last, the one that I use the most often. Now, before we get started, just keep in mind that this is not going to be an action-packed video where I'm demoing everything. I just want to show you these ideas and tell you about the concepts and then let you train it on your own. Alright, so the first one, I'm assuming that since you're watching this video, you have either a smartphone or a computer that you can use for your training. And what I do is I actually downloaded something called the Random Interval Timer. And when you open it up, what you'll find is that you have a few different options. You can set the number of intervals. So I usually just set it at something really high, like 100. And then you can set the minimum time and the maximum time. So if you set the minimum time at like 1 second, it might beep and then beep 1 second later. So I usually like to set it a little bit higher depending on what drill I'm doing. Usually like to set maybe like a 2 or 3 seconds for the minimum, and then maybe 5 for the maximum. And this would be if you're doing just like reverse punch or a kick or a punch on the bag, and you want to be able to turn it over really fast and get on to the next repetition. Now, let's say you're doing a bigger combination, like a full blitz. You don't want to do that every 2 seconds, so you don't have enough time to set up and throw the technique and reset into your stance. So I usually set it somewhere around 5 seconds to 8 seconds or so. If you want to train your ability to not anticipate, I would set it anywhere from 5 seconds to 10 or 12 seconds. That way you catch yourself, if you're trying to really anticipate when it's gonna beep, you'll find yourself actually messing up a little bit more. So it trains you to kind of relax and just respond to the actual beep. All right, so the second one, we're gonna kind of skip forward and talk about the third drill from the previous video and how we can do this with no training partners. We're gonna use either a smartphone or a computer again, and we're gonna pull up a video of a sparring match. All right, so all you're gonna do is you're gonna set up in your stance and you're gonna essentially spar against one of the fighters. So you're gonna pick either one side or the other, and you're gonna get in your stance and essentially spar against them. You're not gonna try to do what the other person is doing. If you chose the person on the left, don't mimic the person on the right. All right, if you chose the person on the left, do what you would do naturally against that person. So if they're making an action, maybe you block, maybe you move, maybe you try to counter. If they're setting still and maybe setting in their stance for a little bit too long, or you see their hands dropping, maybe that would be your time to commit into your combination or your blitz. All right, now if you choose a really high level elite match, what you can do is actually go into the settings down below and click on that and slow down the match a little bit. Maybe go to 75% and slow it down to whatever you need for you to win that match. All right, and this doesn't just train our reaction time and our commitment, but this trains our mindset and our confidence in Kumite. All right, so then as you get comfortable with it, play it again and speed it up a little bit. Play around with this idea, change it, modify it, and let me know if you make a cool change to this that really helps you out. All right, now the third and final one, this is actually something I still do every single day, pretty much no matter where I am. So we might not always have either a smartphone or a computer by us, or we might just not want to be on it all the time. And what we can do is actually use outside stimuli and react based on that. Now, you don't need to always react with karate motions. If you choose one response, one thing that you want to do, and you set a stimuli to it, it will train your brain to respond no matter what. All right, so what I mean by this is I don't have to always throw a punch. I might do something as simple as snap my fingers or tap my shoulder or make a fist or something along those lines. Maybe I blink. All right, now when I do this is maybe if I go out to the park and there's a bunch of dogs out and they're barking. All right, so anytime a dog barks, maybe I tap my leg or I snap my fingers or I blink or I do some set designated action that I will do only when that thing happens. All right, now another way we can do this if we don't have stuff around like that, if you have a busy street outside and there's a bunch of cars going by, this is still one that I do to this day also, is I'll set up into a stance and I'll wait for a car to go by one direction or the other. And if it comes from this side, I'll throw my jab. If it comes from this side, I'll throw my reverse punch. Or maybe if you want to throw hooks and uppercuts, whatever you want to do. But you're basically going to use that traffic as your cue to throw your techniques. All right, that's it for this drill. If you have any questions, please let me know down in the comment section. And if there's any drills that you like to do, please let me know as well. If you have any video requests, I'm always open for those, or just drop a comment to say hello. But make sure that you're subscribed and you hit that bell icon so that, well, you'll see a whole bunch of good videos, including our next one, which is, what the heck am I doing with this? All right, so have fun training this. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.